I know what I'm doing, and in that sense, I'm not your slave. I'm not your slave. I know my condition is absurd. I know nothing will come out of it. Yet I'm doing it. Most people will not have the guts to admit that their life, their struggle, their toil, their passion amounts to nothing. What would they rather do? Sisyphus knows his condition. If this myth is tragic, and that is because its hero is conscious. There is no tragedy for the sleeping one. The workman of today works every day in his life at the same tasks, and his fate is no less absurd. He is comparing Sisyphus to the workman of today. But the usual person lives in the lie called hope. Tomorrow would be better. You have not fooled me. I know what I'm doing. And in that sense, I'm not your slave. I'm not your slave. I know my condition is absurd. I know nothing will come out of it. Yet I'm doing it. And in that sense, and in that moment when he has seen the result of his toil return to the bottom, he is said to be the strongest, even superior to the gods. I'll reread for you. That hour, which hour is being referred to? When he has taken the stone to the summit and has seen the stone roll back to point zero. He has done everything. The sun is probably setting. He is as exhausted as a man could be, right? And just at the pinnacle, just at the moment and point of the accomplishment, he watches his effort totally wasted away. That hour is being referred to. That hour is like a breathing space which returns as surely as his suffering. That is the hour of consciousness. Now, this is the why is this being called the hour of consciousness? Because most people will not have the honesty, the courage, the integrity to admit that this amounts to nothing. Most people will not have the guts to admit that their life, their struggle, their toil, their passion amounts to nothing. What would they rather do? They would pretend as if the achievement has a meaning. They would pretend as if it all amounts to something. Some might even say that they actually rolled back the stone on their own. That kind of inward falseness is what characterizes the normal human being. Oh yeah, I pushed it up. And then just for fun, I allowed it to roll back. In fact, I didn't even allow it. I deliberately pushed it back. Sisyphus knows his condition, and that is being called as consciousness. Sisyphus knows his condition, and very manfully he returns to the starting point only to start all over again the next morning. It is in this that he is being called as superior to even the gods. You may agree or disagree, but that's Kamu. superior to his fate and stronger than his rock. If this myth is tragic, that is because its hero is conscious. There is no tragedy for the sleeping one. There is no tragedy for those who actually think that their life has amounted to something. It is tragic in case of Sisyphus because he is not an idiot. Because he knows all of this means nothing. Right? And in spite of knowing that all of this means nothing, he returns to his routine the next morning. That's where the tragedy is. Right? Now, there might be someone who thinks that carrying the stone up every day would result in a better next birth. Now, for such a person, there is no tragedy at all. Why? Because inwardly, he's adding the number of days and the number of hours, the entire climb, the effort put in. He's totaling all of that. And if the stone rolls back, that to him is an opportunity to roll it back up again and accumulate a few more divinity points or something. Virtue points. Sisyphus knows nothing comes out of it. And yet he continues. Right? Therein lies his strength and his tragedy. Get this? He knows there is no love in this. He knows there is no gain in this. There might be someone who thinks, and there are such people, oh, I have a deep love relation with the stone. Right? And that's fine because two of a kind can have a relationship. The stone is unconscious. The fellow is also unconscious. So the fellow is entitled to think that the two belong to the same plane and can have some chemistry and some relationship. Why not? No? So why would this fellow be disappointed? He would say the stone is my beloved. She wants me to chase her. That's the entire point, having a relationship. And there is so much love in my life, you see. The entire day I am holding her with my outstretched hands and pushing her. She's on top of me. Then I bring her to the climax. Yeah, that's it. And then she wants more of it, so she rolls down. That's not separation, that's preparation. So that we can start afresh the next day. In this case, there is no tragedy. There is no tragedy for those who are not conscious. Dukhiya das kabir hai, jage aur roye. Do you get this? Those who entertain themselves with lies, fabrications, myths, are actually a happier lot. That's the purpose of belief. It keeps you stupid but happy. Stupid but happy. Hmm? If this myth is tragic, that is because its hero is conscious. Where would his torture be, indeed, if at every step the hope of succeeding upheld him? So there would be no torture. There would be no torture if he entertains hope of succeeding. His situation is absurdly special because he is wise. In fact, the legend says he was the wisest mortal. He is wise. He knows he cannot succeed. He cannot succeed. But he still toils on. In that is the torture, the tragedy, the suffering, the uniqueness, and the lesson, maybe. Then comes to the standing reality. The workman of today works every day in his life at the same tasks, and his fate is no less absurd. He is comparing Sisyphus to the workman of today. But the similarity ends here. Just as Sisyphus is performing a task that's repeated every day, similarly the workman repeats the same task every day, and the situation is no less absurd, but in spite of being equally absurd, it is not similar. Why? Because Sisyphus is conscious, whereas the workman is not. Sisyphus knows very well nothing will come out of it. But the workman thinks, if I keep working hard enough, maybe I'll be promoted. If I save more, one day I'll own a house and I'll have kids and I'll be respectable. One day I'll have my manager's job. So then there is no struggle and therefore no dignity either. You have been put in an absurd, random position, and you don't even have the sense to realize that. Instead, you are superimposing meaning on an absurd situation. And that betrays lack of courage and integrity. Instead of acknowledging that the situation is meaningless, that life is actually some kind of punishment for you, instead of acknowledging that, you try to sweeten things by layering the deal with pretty stories, right? The rock is there and somebody is cushioning it with sweet hopes and pretty stories. Sisyphus isn't doing that. He won't say all this has any meaning, or that tomorrow would be any better, or that one is working for a glorious future. He knows there is nothing called a future. He knows it has always been like this and would remain like this. In this direct acknowledgement, being called as consciousness, lies his dignity. And it is this direct acknowledgement that is so hard to get from the normal human being. The usual person lives in the lie called hope. Tomorrow would be better. Tomorrow would be different. No, I'm not a loser. See how many times I rolled it up. I'm not a loser at all. He might even fudge the numbers. He might say, no, this stone that I am rolling up today is not really the same as the one I rolled up yesterday. Okay. So, actually, I'm creating an inventory of rocks up there and will build a castle out of them. You see, I'm not stupid. I'm productive. I'm productive. So what does this person do every evening? Rolls the rock up and then looks the other way so that he doesn't have to acknowledge the rock slipping back. So that he can console himself that something is coming out of his toil. My labor ain't going wasted. It's actually adding up. One rock at a day, one rock each evening. The end of the year means 365 rocks at the peak. That's not a bad deal. I can put it on my CV. What have you done? Put 365 rocks up there. And you're not even a liar, because 365 rocks indeed you carried up there. What you have hidden from others and from yourself is that it's the same rock. It's the same rock. What does Advait say here? Yes. A smiling nod of consent. Yes. You fall in the same trap again and again.